What in tarnation is that? There's someone in my house. I'm gonna get this sucker. Get out of my house! Hey guys, so we got a pretty interesting video for you guys. A company named Xegis reached out to me and said, hey, can we send you a pistol gun safe to review? And the main selling point of this is it reads your palm vein to open it. Basically what we're going to be doing in this video is we're going to be testing it out and putting it through its paces. Putting it through its paces means we're going to be doing a shaking test. Make sure it works with your hand if you're shaking. We're going to see if it works if your hands are wet. Reason we're doing all this stuff to extensively review it is to make sure if you're in a self-defense situation, you are going to be okay. Self-defense situations are very important situations where you need to make sure your firearm is easily accessible. So if it does not work as it's intended to, I will say it. So we are going to put it through its paces to make sure this product is going to be good. The first thing what we're going to do is I'm going to go over the main selling points, then we'll do the testing. So the main selling points of this thing is it has vein reading technology. Instead of those fingerprint ones where you put your finger on it and it opens it, it uses your veins in your palm to recognize who you are. Your veins are pretty unique to yourself. Your body is unique, meaning it won't let anybody else in unless it's your palm. Meaning, I have this thing set up already for my palm. I raise my palm over it and it opens. So, raise my palm over it and it opens for me. There's no contact with the unit itself. You just raise your hand and it opens it. It also has locally stored data, meaning it doesn't upload it to a cloud. If it were to be uploaded to the cloud, they would basically put it in a database inside of like a website or on the internet. This is not supposed to do that. It's supposed to store everything inside of here, meaning your palm vein is not going to go anywhere. Some of the features of this thing are it reads humidity and temperature. So it has 3 different main unlocking features to unlock it. It has palm vein, code, and key. So the code is here. You get 10 digits. You get 1 to 0 or 0 to 9, whatever you want to say, and there's a 0 there. So the main code is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it opens pretty fast. It has a key. They provide 2 keys here. Get your key. Let's say the battery dies on it. Stick your key in there, twist it, and it unlocks like that. So pretty easy. I like how they added a key because you do not want your stuff getting stuck in here. So another thing is it's USB-C rechargeable, meaning there's no like AA's, like you don't have to put like 8 AA's or anything in there. You can plug it into your wall, and I like how it sits up here instead of like on the bottom of the unit. That's pretty nice, meaning you don't have to like have it upside down. You can charge it on your nightstand and be completely fine. Some of the other things that it comes in the box are this. This is to attach it to your nightstand, or if you want to go for a more permanent solution, they provide screws in this little bag here. They do give you a cable that is tethered, which is very nice. Tether cables look cool, so yeah. Manual. Something that I was actually very impressed with is the manual. A lot of people don't read the manual, including myself, but I actually did have to read it, and I did not find myself lost whatsoever. The manual is very nice. Tons of pictures. You know when you get a flashlight and you put it up to your hand or fingers, you can see your veins and stuff? That's basically what it does. It is not affected by like lighting, palms being sweaty, and all that stuff, and we're going to test that. I'm going to wet my hand, and I'm going to put it over here and see how fast it will work. It also says it does not, it works with shaking hands, so meaning shake your hand and it still works. So those are basically the main selling points of the safe. I want to talk a little bit about their competitors with the fingerprint system. With the fingerprint ones, there's a lot of things that can go wrong with them. If you ever have your iPhone and let's say your hands are wet or something, your grooves and your fingerprints get kind of like filled and stuff, and there's inconsistencies in it. So when you go to put your finger on there, the phone, or let's say the gun case, won't actually recognize it. So with this, that completely removes any of the worries of your fingerprints failing. If you have like fading fingerprints or something, you easily forget passwords, this works really good. Instead of having like your fingerprint can mess up sometimes. There's multiple things that can mess with it. And this is supposedly the very first one to ever use that technology, and they seem to have done a pretty darn good job. So enough yapping about that, let's test it. We're gonna do a sweaty palms test, and I have a very wet paper towel. We're gonna dab the sensor, and we're also going to dab my hand. And if this thing holds up, that's gonna be awesome. So wet paper towel, dab my hand. It is dripping wet, and we're gonna dab that sensor. Takes a little bit more time, but it opens. And if honestly, if your hand's sweating that much, you're probably not gonna be able to hold on to your firearm, but it worked really well. I'm kind of impressed. Let's do a shaky hand test too. So I'm just basically gonna fling my hand around, and I mean, what? I'm flinging my hand around and it still works. Obviously my hand's still, like my palms, it's still showing my palms. It takes a little bit more time, but it works. That's normal hand. Let's see if it goes from the back part of the hand. No? No back part of the hand. That's impressive. Like I'm flinging my hand around like that, and it's working. It's just working, which is kind of cool. I was not expecting that. So got my hands flailing around at night or something. As long as you hold it about this high from the sensor, it works. I want to show you guys that this thing even works in the dark. I'm in a very tight closet right now because we don't have any dark rooms, but wave your hand over it, pops open, see your firearm, and it lightens it up really, really well. It's pitch black in here, and I can see my firearm really easily. Okay guys, so I want to talk about this Xegis safe, and I have been pronouncing it wrong almost the whole time, but now I figured out it's Xegis. Anyway, I want to talk about this thing a little bit. So the first thing I want to say is I'm very impressed with it. When they contacted me, I honestly thought I was going to get some gimmicky piece of trash, but it's not. I am very impressed. So some of the things that I like about it, I like how it's USB-C rechargeable, no having to like carry around a bunch of AA's and all that stuff. I like how it has multiple different things to open it. So you have the palm sensor, you have buttons, a code, and you have a key lock. So just in case, let's say it died on you, you can use a key to unlock it. Some of the more interesting features are it has humidity and temperature reading, and the temperature reading is actually very, very accurate. It was on point with the thermostat, so that's pretty cool. I've been using it for a couple of days, and it has not run out of battery. It's still on full charge. I've not had any issues. Sometimes I'll play with it. I'll go over, do the little sensor thing, and take my gun out, mess with it and stuff. This is a BB gun, by the way. And I'll just like put it back and stuff. I'll mess with it and all that stuff. And it works really good. Honestly, I was very, very impressed with it. And I still am very impressed with it. I honestly thought I was not going to get a quality piece. The whole thing is basically metal, except for the buttons and the charger port cover. Everything else is almost completely metal. And it holds a lot of hands. I just watched a video on it, and it can store a ton of palms. So I have both of my palms registered to it, and I even have my brother's because he wanted to try it out too, and it worked really good. I will say this, the lid here is a little bit thinner than I would like, but I don't know if you guys can see that. There is no flex. I'm trying to bend it as hard as I can, and there's barely any flex. It is very well constructed, as in flex wise. Another thing that I would like to see change is this right here. This looks a little bit thin. I don't think it would cause any issues, to be honest. One thing I want to I want you guys to keep in mind, if you are trying to store your firearms from a, let's say you want this to be something that you would keep your firearms in to keep safe, to basically store your valuables in, I personally would choose a actual safe for that. What I think this is designed for is something that you put next to your bedside that like kids and stuff won't get into, and basically it's just something to keep your firearm next to your bedside where it's out of reach from kids and people that you don't want in it. But if someone were to really want to get in here, they could totally do it. It's a lot safer than having it in a safe. Let's say you got a safe in your closet, you got to run over to the safe, you got to unlock the code, and you get your firearm. With this, you have it right next to your bedside. You can mount it to your nightstand, or you can use the cable that they provided to keep someone, maybe like a kid, picking it up and trying to take it somewhere. It'll stay right here. So I think it's a really great alternative than keeping it somewhere like in a drawer or in a safe where it's harder to reach. It's something that will keep it next to you where kids can't mess with it, or someone who, like company and stuff, they won't be able to find your firearms and all that stuff. I really like, again, how it's easy to use. I like how there's multiple different ways to open it. That's a huge plus. And it just works. That's the main point. It works how it's intended, and that's what I'm happy about. It works as it should. That's the main thing that I was looking for. I wanted to make sure this is something that'll work. And it works. It works with shaky hands, wet hands, and you're in a hurry. It opens fast. It opens fast and all that. There's a standby mode, so the sensors kick on, and when it's in that standby mode, I did notice it's a little bit slower, but once it's out of that standby mode, it opens up pretty fast. And honestly, if you did some drills with this thing, you could probably get your firearm out really fast. So thank you, Xegis, for sending this thing out to me. I really enjoyed making this review. It honestly blew through my expectations. I was not expecting something like this. If you guys want to pick yourself up one, Xegis gave me a coupon code, so you can scroll down in the comment section or the description and find yourself a coupon code, and it'll also help me out a little bit. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.